developed with a library, courthouse, and the first church of whoever got there first in the town square. Christendom was churches that were thriving because everybody in town knew that their boss at work would be taking notice of who was a good churchgoer. Everybody, including most non-Christians, held pretty similar Christian values. Most of us pastors had been trained by seminaries and in denominational structures that believed that if we focused our attention in this Christendom world on good preaching of the Scriptures, attentive pastoral care, and a few relevant programs for kids and youth, then all would be well. But over the past generation, those assumptions have been called into question. Churches of all kinds have seen diminishing attendance. Millennials are leaving the churches that raised them at the rate of 1 million a year. And the number of nones, those who, when asked on demographic form what religion they belong to, answer none, is climbing at skyrocketing rates. Many of us began to realize that the training that we received needed to be augmented with a different kind of leadership. And the pace of change was just speeding up. In 2015, I published a book about leadership in uncharted territory. That book uses the metaphor of Lewis and Clark's expedition as a way of describing the kind of adaptive leadership that is needed when you go off the map and face challenges for which you have no expertise. Adaptive leadership teaches us to build trust through forming relational holding environments, to expect to experience loss when we let go of deeply held behaviors and expectations, and to become people who can learn as we go. It teaches us that we have to learn to manage competing values and to deal with sabotage and resistance by the very people we are called to lead. Canoeing the Mountains, Christian Leadership in Uncharted Territory, has already sold nearly 90,000 copies. Over the past 5 years, I've traveled 500,000 miles to 3 different continents and spoken to over 200 churches and groups of pastors and leaders. Everywhere I have been, there were church leaders all trying to learn how to lead when the world in front of you is nothing like the world behind you. And especially when those changes are coming so rapidly. 1,800 years of Christendom expectations in the West have changed in 1 generation. It's not just the change that is so disorienting, but the speed of change. And that was before the coronavirus. In her book, Strengthening the Soul of Your Leadership, Ruth Haley Barton describes the daunting leadership moment that many of us feel, and have felt with even more intensity in this season of unprecedented worldwide change. Somehow, we know that this moment is different. This is not about making a brilliant career move. It is not about security. It is not about success or failure or anything else the ego wants for us. It is not about choosing among several attractive options. This is about the Spirit of God setting us on our feet and telling us, this is yours to do. In this little book, you will be offered 2 tools for leading resiliently through rapid change. I give no predictions and no surefire prescriptions. Instead, I want to draw from the best of leadership literature and Christian spiritual formation to offer a way of leading and a process of leadership formation. The first teaches us how to lead when rapidly changing environments reveal a genuine lack of expertise. The second forms us with the strength and flexibility needed to fulfill the call in our lives to lead at this moment. This book draws on the heart of Canoeing the Mountains by giving a brief overview of adaptive leadership. It then offers part of a chapter from my new book, Tempered Resilience: How Leaders Are Formed in the Crucible of Change, which focuses on creating a rule of life for staying resilient when experiencing the vulnerability of leadership in uncharted territory. In an interview during the fear and uncertainty post 9/11, leadership author Margaret Wheatley wrote, "The primary way to prepare for the unknown is to attend to the quality of our relationships, to how well we know and trust one another. There is one core principle for developing these relationships. People must be engaged in meaningful work together if they are to transcend individual concerns and develop new capacity."